Things Will Be Different is Michael Felker's debut, a Felker movie. Honestly, kind of had a nice tone to it. In order to escape the police after a robbery, two estranged siblings lay low in a metaphysical farmhouse that hides them away in a different time. There, they reckon with a mysterious force that pushes their familial bonds to unnatural breaking points. Now, I saw this movie before a film festival, and I said, "Oh my god, I absolutely adore this movie. It is in my top 10 of the year." Then I saw 50 plus films, and I was like, honestly, none of these movies are better than Things Will Be Different. That is how high I regard this movie. I absolutely adored it, and I said, "Ewan, we have to do this movie." So Ewan, give me your opinion.
Well, I am really glad that you loved it and have it that high in your ratings. I think if you look at my rate in your rankings, if you look at my rating, I'm also very very positive on this. To me, like a small movie with a big idea is always great, and usually those type of films falter in the way that they kind of want too much out of their premise, where they overdo it, they expand it too fast. But the way that this film kind of stays at the core of its story and revolves around it in the same way that this is about like a time loop, right? That they're kind of caught in. It is wonderfully constructed that it never goes beyond what its capabilities are. And even towards the very end, that we don't want to spoil here for you, so you actually go check this out yourself. It stays within the core of this narrative that you feel like is small, but then for these characters ends up being immense, the biggest thing in their life. To have that gradual growth with the characters as you're watching it as well is very rewarding. It's sci-fi done perfectly. I don't know how to improve on this. It's a simple premise, but it works so well. Kev, you tell us a bit more about why this is in your top 10 of the year.
Well, you say it. It's kind of done in a perfectly done way, and that's why I'm really sad at seeing the okay reviews for it. Because, as you say, it's done in a very clean way, in a way that is not dragging it, not rushing it. It's plays out perfectly. I gave the movie a 9 out of 10, and I'm seeing all these 3.5, 3 stars reviews, and I'm like, what more do you want out of this movie? I've thought about it, and I'm like, these smaller sci-fi movies, have they been affected by things such as Black Mirror? Are people like, oh yeah, this is maybe a good Black Mirror episode? I'm really wondering what more you wanted out of this movie, and I feel like there are other movies out there that are these smaller movies but are executed, very immaculately.
I think Black Mirror definitely has something to do with this, that anything that is a morbid sci fi premise is Black Mirror esque. What that show, I think, doesn't do well is executing on intriguing premises, and it feels like they're wasting them away. And this one is pretty simple in its premise in the way that you don't even feel like it is a sci-fi premise, and then it just kind of turns into one. And as soon as you cut into the sci-fi parts of this film, you're like, I want to get out of the sci-fi. This fucking sucks. The sci-fi. No, 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 no. Stop it. I want normal life, just a drama, please, 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 for these characters. And that is a great way to do something like this, other than just like placating. This is what this is about. That's the core theme, and then not really delivering on that. I think it kind of does it the other way around, and it helps you go in with pretty lowered expectations of what you'll get for the film. And maybe I don't know. I don't really I'm too concerned with how other people are like seeing and reviewing the film. I just hope that more people, after hearing our thoughts on it and a positive review, that they go check it out for themselves. That's hopefully that's your main takeaway.
Yeah, and obviously after finishing this film, I was like, I need to delve in more into Michael Felker. And when you see, oh, Aaron Benson and Moorhead, oh,
Yeah.
Michael Felker is the editor of The Endless, Synchronic, Something in the Dirt, you're like, oh, I get it.
Mhm.
I have not seen any of those, and I'm very, very excited to go visit them. And I hope I do not see the same reactions of like, oh, small movie, but actually very good executed.
No, it is kind of the same with the
I'm
types of films.
feeling so.
I think their movies are a bit more heady. They're a bit more like they're a bit weirder than this
Yeah.
one even usually. So I feel like it's a bit easier to not vibe with them. To me, this, I also told you this, is that the premise itself of, you know, these two siblings bickering about their life through eternity basically is like something that could be incredibly silly
Yeah.
because you have to rehash their relationship in a way where you need to catch up with all of the baggage that comes, that stuff that is unaddressed that they address. If you address all of it, it feels like you're just giving us exposition. And this movie does that kind of beautifully through, I gotta say, like two stunning performances from Riley Dandy and Adam David Thompson. I think they both kind of nail this like quiet sibling dynamic so well that you feel like you get enough information, even though you're not presented with every single thing that happened in their lives. Even though they do address it, it doesn't feel like an exposition dump.
No.
And that is hard to pull off. That is hard to pull off, especially in a smaller drama that doesn't, you know, have the budget, although they do it, to do like flashbacks and big, you know, that could take you out of it. I think even that part of it kind of works well. Really impressive all around.
Time Keeps Dancing gets played twice in this movie, but it has been played over 100 times here at my desk. I absolutely adore that song. I would never break the disc like one character does in the movie. I absolutely adore that song. And again, everything, the score, and I love the sort of, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a video game out there that I'm like, oh yes, it's kind of like this. I absolutely love Things Will Be Different. I hope more people seek it out, especially after maybe us reviewing it. So please go give it a watch. I give it a 9 out of 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10, and yeah, we can go recommend you go see it. You can go buy or rent it right now. But there's also an interview and a podcast episode, a bit more than an interview, that colleagues of us at the Intercut podcast did with the director, Michael Felker. So if you want to hear more from the guy behind this, there's a recommendation on what you can watch, even if you have seen it. So let us know what you thought of it. And with that, we'll see you soon.